The political landscape of North America was shaken to its core this week with the unexpected resignation of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. His departure sent shockwaves through the political community, leaving many to speculate about the reasons behind his sudden exit. This bombshell announcement came on the heels of a controversial closed-door meeting with former U.S. President Donald Trump. The meeting, shrouded in secrecy, has fueled countless theories and debates. In a move that can only be described as audacious, even for him, Trump seized the opportunity to propose a full-fledged merger between the United States and Canada. This proposal, unprecedented in modern history, has left both nations in a state of uncertainty and intrigue. The world watched with bated breath as this unprecedented situation unfolded. News outlets across the globe scrambled to cover the story, providing round-the-clock updates and analysis. Social media erupted, political pundits went into overdrive, and ordinary citizens on both sides of the border grappled with the potential ramifications. Hashtags like #Trudeau Resigns and #US-Canada Merger trended for days, reflecting the public's fascination and concern. Could this be the dawn of a new North American superpower? The idea of a unified North America, once considered a far-fetched fantasy, suddenly seemed within the realm of possibility. Or were we witnessing a dangerous power grab with potentially disastrous consequences? Critics argue that such a merger could undermine the sovereignty of both nations and lead to unforeseen complications. The initial shock was swiftly followed by a torrent of questions and concerns. Journalists and political analysts alike sought answers, delving into the implications of Trudeau's resignation and Trump's bold proposal. What prompted Trudeau's sudden departure? Speculation ranged from personal reasons to political pressure, with some suggesting that the meeting with Trump played a pivotal role. What exactly transpired during his meeting with Trump? The lack of transparency has only added to the mystery, with insiders hinting at intense discussions and possible disagreements. And most importantly, could a US-Canada merger ever realistically come to fruition? The logistical, political, and cultural challenges are immense, but the very proposal has sparked a wave of debate and speculation. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: the political landscape of North America will never be the same. The events of this week have set the stage for a new era of political discourse and potential realignment. The aftershocks of these seismic events will continue to reverberate for years to come, shaping the destinies of millions and altering the global balance of power. The world will be watching closely as North America navigates this uncharted territory, with the potential for both great opportunity and significant risk. Justin Trudeau, once the poster boy for progressive politics, had been facing mounting pressure in recent months. His tenure, which began with a wave of optimism and promises of change, was now marred by a series of challenges that seemed almost insurmountable. The Canadian economy, heavily reliant on trade with the United States, had been hit hard by the ongoing global recession. The downturn had a ripple effect, impacting various sectors from manufacturing to services, and leaving many Canadians uncertain about their financial futures. Unemployment was on the rise, and Canadians were feeling the pinch. The job market had become increasingly competitive, with more people vying for fewer positions. Families were struggling to make ends meet, and the social safety nets were being stretched to their limits. Adding to Trudeau's woes was a series of political scandals that had chipped away at his carefully cultivated image. These scandals ranged from ethical breaches to allegations of corruption, each one eroding public trust and confidence in his leadership. The once charismatic leader appeared increasingly weary under the weight of these challenges. His public appearances, once filled with energy and enthusiasm, now showed a man grappling with the immense pressures of his office. His approval ratings had plummeted, and calls for his resignation from both within his own party and the opposition were growing louder by the day. The political landscape was becoming more hostile, with even his staunchest allies beginning to question his ability to lead.
It was against this backdrop of domestic turmoil that I agreed to meet with Trump. The meeting was intended to discuss bilateral relations and trade issues, but the timing could not have been worse. The timing of the meeting, just days before my shocking announcement, has led many to speculate that the two events are inextricably linked. The media was abuzz with theories and conjectures, each one more sensational than the last. Was I pressured by Trump into stepping down? The question lingered in the air, fueling endless debates and discussions. The idea that a foreign leader could influence the resignation of a sitting prime minister was both alarming and intriguing. did the former US president use the meeting as an opportunity to strong-arm his Canadian counterpart? Trump's reputation for being a shrewd and often ruthless negotiator only added to the speculation.
While the specifics of their conversation remain shrouded in secrecy, one thing is certain: the meeting proved to be a turning point for both leaders, albeit in vastly different ways. The closed-door discussions, away from the prying eyes of the media, held the potential to reshape the political landscape. For Trudeau, it marked the beginning of the end of his political career. The weight of the scandals, economic woes, and political pressure had finally taken its toll, leading to a decision that would change the course of Canadian politics. For Trump, it presented a golden opportunity to further his own ambitions on the world stage. The meeting allowed him to assert his influence and potentially gain leverage in future negotiations, solidifying his position as a key player in international politics. The meeting between Trudeau and Trump was held at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, a location carefully chosen to project an image of power and dominance. Sources close to Trudeau describe him as being visibly uncomfortable throughout the encounter, dwarfed by Trump's imposing presence and relentless energy.
According to leaked reports, I began the meeting by launching into a tirade against Canada's trade policies, which I deemed unfair and detrimental to American interests. I reportedly mocked Trudeau's progressive agenda, calling him weak and out of touch with the needs of everyday people.
Trudeau, known for his diplomatic skills, attempted to steer the conversation towards more neutral ground, emphasizing the long-standing friendship and cooperation between the two countries. However, his efforts were met with disdain by Trump, who repeatedly interrupted and belittled him. By all accounts, the meeting was an unmitigated disaster. It served only to highlight the vast gulf in both personality and political ideology between the two leaders. More importantly, it set the stage for Trump's audacious power play, the proposal for a US-Canada merger. Section 4. Freeland falls. The last bastion of resistance crumbles. The resignation of Chrystia Freeland, Canada's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, sent shockwaves through the country. Her departure marked the end of an era, a significant turning point in Canadian politics. Freeland had been a formidable force, a beacon of hope for many who believed in a strong, independent Canada.
Freeland, a staunch critic of Trump and a vocal opponent of the proposed merger, was seen by many as the last bastion of resistance against what they perceived as an American takeover. Her speeches were fiery, her resolve unshakable. She rallied the masses, igniting a sense of patriotism and defiance among Canadians who feared losing their national identity.
Her departure, coming just hours after Trudeau's own resignation announcement, fueled speculation that the Canadian government was in complete disarray. The political landscape was in turmoil, with citizens and politicians alike questioning the future of their nation. The double resignation left a power vacuum, a void that many feared would be filled by pro-merger advocates.
It also raised serious questions about the future of Canadian sovereignty and the potential consequences of a US-Canada merger. The idea of merging with the United States was met with mixed reactions. Some saw it as an opportunity for economic growth, while others viewed it as the end of Canadian independence. The debate was fierce, with emotions running high on both sides.
Freeland, known for her sharp intellect and unwavering commitment to Canadian interests, had been a thorn in Trump's side for years. Her strategic mind and diplomatic skills had earned her respect on the global stage. She was a symbol of resistance, a leader who stood firm in the face of adversity.
She had spearheaded Canada's tough stance during the renegotiation of NAFTA and had publicly condemned Trump's protectionist trade policies on numerous occasions. Her efforts were instrumental in securing favorable terms for Canada, showcasing her ability to navigate complex international negotiations with finesse.
Her resignation was a major victory for Trump, and a clear indication that he intended to pursue the merger with or without the support of the Canadian people. It was a bold move, one that signaled his determination to reshape the geopolitical landscape. The implications of this merger were vast, potentially altering the balance of power in North America.
It also sent a chilling message to other world leaders: challenge Trump at your own peril. The international community watched closely, aware that the outcome of this political drama could set a precedent for future interactions with the United States. The stakes were high, and the world held its breath, waiting to see what would unfold next.
Section 5. Trump Unleashed, Tweets, Taunts, and the Threat to Truth. In the aftermath of these seismic political shifts, Donald Trump took to social media with fervor, tweeting incessantly about the merger, taunting his critics, and spreading misinformation.
Trump's tweets were not just about the merger, they were a direct assault on the truth, undermining the very foundations of democratic discourse.
The barrage of tweets and taunts created a chaotic information landscape, making it difficult for citizens to discern fact from fiction.
This relentless attack on truth posed a grave threat to the integrity of public debate, not just in the US and Canada, but around the world.
As the lines between reality and rhetoric blurred, the consequences for democracy became ever more dire.